Welcome, Céad Míle Fáilte, 100,000 welcomes to the University College Dublin School of Veterinary Medicine, which is behind me here, the Veterinary Sciences building behind me, and of course our wonderful veterinary hospital just down here to my left. The University College Dublin School of Veterinary Medicine is on the UCD campus, and this is a huge advantage of the school here, because not only have we got the vet school, we're part of health sciences with the School of Medicine, the School of Human Public Health, and all the other faculties of law, humanities, engineering, science are all on this wonderful campus. And that is a huge advantage in terms of the facilities of the campus. It's cafes, it's restaurants, it's sports facilities, it's Olympic swimming pool, it's theatre, it's cinemas. But more importantly, I guess the interaction with other students in other faculties. That's really important, I think, for the overall student experience, which we value very, very highly in UCD. And of course, we're in the vibrant city of Dublin, historic city with lots of amenities and excitement, and that's only a bus ride away. Established in 1900 as the Royal Veterinary College of Ireland, this school has a very proud history. The school is accredited by the American Veterinary Medical Association, by the European Association of Establishments for Veterinary Education, by the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons in the UK, by the Australasian Veterinary Boards Council, and by the Veterinary Council of Ireland. We have a one health, one welfare motto. This is key to our future, and of course, in the current pandemic, has a real sharp focus. We are very strong in our research across a whole range of areas. And one of the things I would say about our research is you coming in here as students will engage in our research. You will engage in summer research projects. You will present your findings across the school, across the college, with other students in the School of Medicine, for instance. And we have a strong link with the University of California, Davis, for instance, where we have exchange research scholarships happening for students from Davis coming here and from students from here going to Davis to carry out research. It's an exciting time in terms of the development of the school. We're bringing in a new oncology suite, hydrotherapy. We've just recently introduced a brand new state-of-the-art MRI system in the veterinary hospital. We have the only standing CT in Ireland. We do a lot of equine work on that. And of course, we have our farm. And our farm is a wonderful resource. We've just recently developed the teaching facilities on the farm in poultry and in pigs. We have a dairy herd, we have a sheep flock, we have horses out there. You're going to be meeting members of faculty and our students and listening to their stories about the wonderful UCD School of Veterinary Medicine.
The vet school in Dublin is a warm and friendly place. The staff really get to know the students, they have an open door policy and they really encourage questions from the students during their time here. The school has two programs, a 4-year graduate entry program, and there's about 45 to 50 students on that, and then a 5-year undergraduate program, and there's about 85 students in that. In the first year, you'll focus on preclinical subjects, such as anatomy and physiology, but you'll also spend a lot of time interacting with animals right from the beginning, undertaking modules on reproduction and animal nutrition in the associated university farm. In the first trimester of second year, we will undertake modules in the paraclinical area, such as microbiology and pathology. And then in the second half of second year and all of third year, we use a systems-based approach to cover all elements of the veterinary program. In the final year in your time here, it's all lecture-free, and you undertake rotations in the attached veterinary hospital, focusing on different species and different disciplines, really applying the knowledge that you've gained and the understanding that you've developed over the previous 3 years. The curriculum has recently been completely reviewed and now incorporates professional modules throughout all of the years, introducing important professional skills such as communication. Clinical skills are introduced right from the beginning of the course to support students in attaining their day one competencies and entry into the veterinary profession. In parallel with the taught modules, you'll also need to undertake 12 weeks of preclinical extramural studies. This is gaining experience in handling and being safe around a range of species, companion animals, farm animals, horses, and exotics. In years 2 and 3, you will need to complete 24 weeks of clinical EMS. These are placements in a veterinary-led establishment. They can be a veterinary hospital, veterinary practice, or a veterinary research institute, specialising in different species. This real-world, hands-on exposure is a really vital part of the student experience. And students really follow their passion when identifying placements. So, for example, if a student is really interested in equine medicine, they identify a centre of excellence specialising in this area. In doing so, they not only get brilliant experience, they develop a really deep network of contacts. And quite often, students get offers of employment even before they've graduated from the course.
Your stage 1 experience begins with learning normal structure and function, normal anatomy and physiology, and associated subjects such as animal reproduction, nutrition, welfare, and behavior. The aim here is to learn normal anatomy and physiology and to identify how a normal animal looks like. Once you have done that, in your later stages, you will understand what can go wrong with that normal anatomy and physiology, and then in your clinical years, you will learn how to fix those problems. In your stage 1, you will be part of approximately about 50 students who come from a very diverse background, predominantly from United States, Canada, and European Union. Your stage 1 experience is spread over 2 trimesters of roughly 12 weeks each, which are designed on a blended learning format involving classroom lectures, hands-on practical experience, and as well as visit to our state-of-the-art Lions Estate, which has a working farm. Typically, you will have about 30 credits in each trimester to go through. All our academic staff have an open door policy for effective engagement with students to create a very stimulating and inclusive learning environment. Most of our faculty are research active as well, and they encourage involvement of our students in their research activities. Assessment are an important component of your learning experience as well. This will be conducted using various formats of assessments such as group-based work, group-based presentations, multiple choice type of questions, short or long answer type of questions as well. This will be your typical experience in the stage 1.
In second year, students take a newly designed integrated course in pathobiology. This combines parasitology, microbiology, and pathology into one integrated course. The students incorporate real clinical cases into their learning, which allows them to consolidate all the material they learned in first year and take it forward to the clinical years. The UCD Vet School is committed to the principles of One Health, and that's the idea that animal health, human health, and the health of the environment are all interlinked. So we have active research programs in the area of zoonotic infectious disease. So those are diseases that are transmitted from animals to humans. Some of the projects that we have ongoing are in the areas of hepatitis virus, SARS-CoV-2, which is the coronavirus that causes COVID-19, and tuberculosis.
So when you finally reach the final year, our stage 4, you have no more formal lectures. All you do is clinical rotations through the hospital, either on the small animal side or the large animal part of the hospital. The idea is when you actually reach that stage for you to be doing the case management from beginning to end, like you are the primary vet and responsible for the case as well. So what normally tends to happen during that rotation is that you will go, you meet the clients, you introduce yourself, you take the history and do the clinical examination. Based on those findings, you will have a plan based on your problem list of what diagnostics that animal will need. And following that, you will follow the animal through all the procedures they're gonna have while they're here as well. From the small animal clinical studies section, you have it divided into the small animal medicine and also the surgery part. In the small animal medicine service, you will have 6 weeks divided into 2 weeks in the first semester in internal medicine referral work and 2 additional weeks in your second semester. In addition, you'll have 1 week specifically to the ICU and emergency care, patients and also 1 week in first opinion. Apart from your small animal medicine rotations, you also are scheduled to do some small animal surgery in the hospital as well. The first week is an introduction week to surgery, so you can kind of go back and remember a little bit your techniques that you learned during the previous years. The second week, it is more of a shelter medicine week. At the moment, it's basically a neutering clinic, so you'll have the opportunity to do either a dog or a cat spay and some castration as well, with the help of the interns and obviously other clinicians. So it is a good way for you to do something practical before you go into practice in the future and are a little bit on your own. The last 2 weeks of the surgery, of the small animal surgery rotations, are referral work. So you'll be following more complicated cases that potentially you're not going to see in practice and do yourself straight away, but at least gives you an opportunity to see what can be done on those more complicated cases as well. So that's another additional 2 weeks. And then you'll have the large 2 weeks on large animals surgery instead.
So in final year then, students will be exposed to large animals through our equine rotations and also through our farm animal rotations. So the equine rotations then are fall under 2 different modules, the first one being their large animal surgery module. So in part of that module then, students will spend 2 weeks in the equine hospital here, which is a tertiary referral service that we operate out of the University Veterinary Hospital. As part of that rotation then, students will be exposed to sort of a wide variety of cases from emergencies, colics, all the way through to sort of poor performance and lameness as well. And then as part of that rotation, students will also get the opportunity to be lead surgeon in an equine castration. So then there's another 2 weeks that are spent as part of their equine clinical studies module. So for that then, students will spend a week within their hospital here. That will take the form of referred cases in from other veterinary establishments, and that's spent with a board certified equine internal medicine specialist. The second week then will be spent on the road with our ambulatory service. So that's a first opinion service, which will kind of travel around the perimeter of Dublin for those first opinion cases. So then our last module then is farm animal clinical studies. So that will be split into 3 weeks in semester 1 and 2 weeks then in semester 2. So as part of that module then, students will be looking after our farm animal cases down here in the hospital that are referred in from surrounding practices, and then also to undertake a couple of different practical classes, things like foot trimming, for example, or epidural administration. And then the other component then will be our herd visits then. So we operate a referral system here for herd visits. So referring practitioners will get in touch with us about herd problems, productivity problems on farms, for example, or herd health problems, and we will investigate those with the help of students here as part of their farm animal clinical studies module.
I'm the module coordinator for final year module in anesthesia, paraclinical and diagnostic imaging. So it's incorporating all of those, and we have rotations in paraclinical, which include practicing collecting of samples, processing of samples, and performing a post-mortem examination as part of your day 1 skills. And that lasts for a whole week, and you're doing it in small groups. And then you're also being involved with the infectious diseases parts of the hospital. Then the other parts of the module are anesthesia. Anesthesia is one of those modules that is quite intensive in that you're involved with, when the patient comes in, you're involved with working them up completely. You have to pass your anesthesia protocol by your supervisor, and then you go forward to being involved with the anesthesia of the patient as they go through their procedure. So whether that's here with us in CT, or whether that's in surgery, or what have you. So then a lot of students find the anesthesia rotation quite challenging, but incredibly clinically useful afterwards. They learn a lot. These are the kind of things that you're going to be doing in practice. And again, we want you to be able to be as clinically comfortable as you want to be. So apart from anesthesia then, that's involving large and small animals. Then in your last part of the rotation, you're in here with us on rotation, and we have, as you see here, we have CT. This is the small animal side, large animal side on the other side. And you're involved with both large and small animal. On our rotation, we recap all the knowledge that hopefully you haven't forgotten from the other years. And then we try to use that knowledge in a clinical setting where you're able to follow the patients as they arrive to us. They go through their imaging procedures, and then at the end, we actually get you to present those cases to us the following day. So these are things, again, between anesthesia, paraclinical and diagnostic imaging, We have a nice list of day one skills that we want you to be able to have, and we really, really focus on those. And if people have a specific interest, we try to allow them to develop that a little bit as well.
Hello, I'm Susan from the Vet School Office, and I'm a member of the team who are here to help you with any questions you may have on registration applications, or indeed any other administrative queries you have throughout your journey with us. We work closely with our colleagues in UCD Global, who are available to answer any questions you may have on federal aid and immigration issues. To my left is the school office. There's a team of 5 of us here on hand Monday to Friday to help. We're also contactable by email, and we are very much looking forward to welcoming you all to the programme.
My name is Tarsika, and I am a final year student in the Graduate Entry Veterinary Medicine program here at UCD. I'm originally from Canada, and I'm completed a undergraduate studies in a specialist in biological chemistry.
Hi, my name is Claudia Da Silva, and I am a second year veterinary medicine student, a part of the grad entry program. I am also originally from Massachusetts. I got my bachelor's degree in wildlife conservation at UMass Amherst.
I wanted to be a vet ever since I can remember. I've always loved animals, and I was always very passionate about medicine, so the two kind of merged together very well.
My name is Caroline Spangenberg. I am a Stage 4 graduate entry veterinary medicine student at UCD. I'm originally from Millis, Massachusetts in the United States, and I studied zoology as an undergraduate degree at the University of Maine.
My name is Kelsey Peterson, and I'm a second year in the GE program, grad entry program at UCD. And I chose to come here because the One Health system that UCD has is something that's really important to me. And I love that UCD really implements One Health within their lecture and curricular system. They have a motto of One Health, One Welfare, and that's really important to me.
I chose to apply to UCD mainly because I already had friends here in Ireland, and I already knew a few alumni who attended UCD for their veterinary medicine program. They spoke quite highly about the program, and so I was quite interested in UCD.
I decided to come to UCD not only for the great traveling experience, but to also meet people from all over the world. That was really exciting to also have that opportunity. I also love the fact that the language is unique, the sports are entertaining and fun, and the vet med program has been great so far.
Something that really struck a chord with me as an American and someone who's also 26 and no longer covered by her parents' insurance is to be able to be a full-time student and afford health insurance while going to school full-time. It's quite affordable, and what you would pay in a month in the States is what you pay a year here. So that's truly amazing, and just less stress.
Growing up in the United States, Ireland is always spoken about positively. There's really nobody that has anything negative to say about Ireland. So growing up, I just heard all kinds of wonderful things. And when I heard that they had a vet school and only one vet school, I thought that would be a really unique opportunity to live abroad, but still sort of go somewhere that feels like home, because everything about Ireland sort of feels like home to me.
It's definitely a very welcoming atmosphere, both at UCD and in Ireland. Just the people are great, the people are very friendly and welcoming, and there's a sense of community that's built across the country, and it was very easy to come into that country and be a part and see that the next 4 or 5 years are where I'm meant to be.
Here at UCD, the teaching style is very much welcoming and quite informal. I will typically address my professors by their first name, as that's what they prefer. And it is definitely a welcoming environment, and we get to learn a whole host of information for a variety of species here, which is something I'm very passionate about.
And of course, being an AVMA accredited university for the veterinary medicine program, it was a big asset to any international student, and it attracts any international student who's wishing to pursue their degree and their career back home in their home countries.
Another reason why I chose to come to UCD Dublin was for the AVMA accreditation. That was huge, coming from the States and having this program be 4 years, especially with the financial aspects. It was really helpful. I also loved coming to UCD because, again, the support of the staff, meeting people from all over the world. And my background is mostly in small animals, so coming here and having the chance to get experience on farms, meeting the locals, and then getting more farm animal experience was also amazing.
I also really liked how UCD has its own clinical hospital here as well. So for my 4th year, I don't need to travel anywhere. It'll be here for me. I've also decided to pursue emergency medicine, and UCD's hospital is an emergency referral hospital, so I'm really excited to have everything apply in one setting. The first year for graduate entry is actually a really low student-to-teacher ratio, and I really appreciate that. I like having the one-on-one with my teachers, being able to ask questions, and being a little bit more hands-on with my learning in labs.
So for our first year, we got the chance to go to farms around Ireland and also other countries if we decided to, and that was for our preclinical extramural studies, which is also animal handling. So that was really great, as my background is mostly in small animals, so it was fun to work with cattle and then also sheep. I also got the chance to work with goats as well. And then moving forward to this year, we're starting our clinical extramural studies, so we'll get to kind of assist the veterinarians, be somewhat of an assistant, and then kind of get more clinical skills as well. And then moving forward, hopefully, in the next 2 years or so, we'll finally get to be in the hospital and do our clinical rotations there as well, which I'm really looking forward to, as that is for the 4th year vet students.
I have always been interested in research since I started at the University of Maine, and so I was just getting settled at first, trying to understand how the degree was going to work and how much time I would have. But I eventually reached out. I heard about an opportunity with the SSRA program at UCD, and I reached out to Dr. Emma O'Neill and was able to participate in some of her research on sort of reflective practices in veterinary nursing and veterinary medicine education. And that experience eventually opened up just tons more opportunities, where I eventually applied for in a fellowship at the University of Missouri this past summer, but it was through my experiences in research here at UCD that I was able to have that opportunity to travel to Missouri and complete a bigger research project, which was on viral load and cytokine gene expression in SARS-CoV-2 infected mice.
So we're in UCD's Clinical Skills Center, and this is actually something that I really appreciate as well. We're able to actually practice hands-on techniques and methods while working in the hospital. We've practiced intravenous catheter placements, emergency triaging, intubating, extubating. If you're unfamiliar with a certain species, they have large animal, small animal to work with, and like stuffed or fake animals that you can begin your experience with, and that's really nice. I'm looking forward to our clinical rotations here on campus at UCD's Emergency and Referral Hospital. It's just the next building over, which is quite handy, and we'll be spending most of our 4th year there, and it's really exciting. So student life at UCD is really fun. There's plenty of clubs to join, whether that's veterinary related or extracurricular. The VetSoc, Veterinary Society, that we have here is really involved with students and encouraging of whether that's learning more information and talks online or in person, or just having more experience handed to us through vet pals and things of that nature. I've joined a few clubs outside for extracurricular, like stress relief ones, like kickboxing and windsurfing, and that's been really fun and exciting too. As far as living in Dublin goes, it's really nice. Dublin's a pretty good international hub, so I'm meeting people from all over. People on campus are from all over, and so I'm making lots of friends from all over the world, and it's something that I really appreciate.
I find that Ireland reflects Canada in a lot of its cultural ways, and so I found it to be very, very much like home.
It has been, like I expected in many ways, just a little bit rainier.
So, Garamila Maigov, which in Irish means thank you very much. Thank you for watching and listening. And we're really, really looking forward to seeing you in September. Slán, goodbye.